Hey girls, Maria Menounos here, author of the Every Girl's Guide to Life. Want to know my best tips and secrets for organization, travel, weight loss, beauty, fashion, and everything else in between? Go to bing.com/Maria and pick up my new book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for the real world. Tonight's host is DJ Jesse Janedy. Joining Jesse will be AfterBuzz co-hosts Shannon Merrifield, Emily Harbert, and Carly Fernandez. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest real-world news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, DJ Jesse Janedy.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? Phil he loves my catchphrase. He doesn't do it on the Vampire Diaries, but on the real world, he likes it. It's a little singing thing we do.
Inside joke.
Yes. So, welcome guys to the real world. Season 25, episode 10, Who's Your Daddy? Who is your daddy? Wait, why was that the name of the
Because Nany's looking for a
Oh,
daddy.
who is your daddy? There we go. Yeah. We're here tonight, but with some special guests here. My dear friends from back home, Massachusetts, Cape Cod, Carly and Shannon.
Hey.
What up, ladies? They came all the way out here just for this one show. They're going back tonight. They're such... just kidding. We're also here with Emily. Emily from the Vampire Diaries, Harbert. She finally joined us. Hello, how are you? Glad you could make it out here today.
Fabulous.
Of course, we have Phil Svitek running the booth.
And we also have Mari Fagel on the line.
What up, Mari?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Super. We're about to talk about this very fun episode in just a second. But before we do, I have an announcement to make. Anybody who's visited AfterBuzzTV.com, you may notice that some of your favorite episodes aren't up there. And don't worry, we're getting them up there. We just changed over to a new pimp website, so we're having a little site maintenance right now. But if you guys want to hear those episodes, you can check us out at iTunes. And subscribe to our podcast. Please do that. Please, please, please. You guys have been definitely checking it out there. We've been up in the top so far, so keep it coming. Also, Stitcher.com. It's an app for your phone. And you can wake up and listen to us in the morning, at night. Yes, you can download this app and hear us talk about the real world all the time. And of course, ustream.tv/AfterBuzzTV. We're always streaming live, so check us out.
And we have a fan. This fan, he's so eager to say something because he called into the 16 and pregnant after show. So, caller, you are now on the line.
Caller, what's your name and where are you from? Hello?
Are you nervous?
Shy guy. Don't be a shy guy. All right, well, hopefully he'll get back on the phone. But let's talk about this episode.
Craziness. I like how you said fun.
It was
a fun episode. It was like a roller coaster ride. It was kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, the past few episodes we've got, they were kind of themed based. Last week it was like a PSA on having sex and, being safe and wrapping it up. The week before that we had, the whole gay internet porn extravaganza. And they focused on these single stories. And tonight we got a little bit of everything.
It was kind of day in the life a little bit. It was
It was
really
very day in
liked
the
it.
life. One story that I did not like was this Dustin from last week. If you remember, Dustin, Leroy, and Cooke, they all went out. And Dustin had just broken up with Heather that day, and he was over the whole situation.
Well, she broke up with him, right?
Yeah, same thing. They broke up. They're not together no more. But, so within this one day, he feels that, you know what, I need to get over Heather, and he makes out with Cooke. Oh my gosh. And so the whole deal is that the three of them are going to keep this a secret. Mm-hmm. Cut to this week. Leroy and Dustin are talking, and Dustin understands that it was, the wrong thing to do, but he just wanted, he was out, he's a guy, he wanted to enjoy himself. Leroy, noticed that Cooke was a really thirsty chick.
Yeah.
And by thirsty, I mean parched. And he's I loved when Leroy said, Cooke is toast and she gonna get her ass whooped. And she definitely is. This whole thing with Cooke and the whole situation, they went out to a club and Cooke and Dustin are being flirtatious and everybody notices. And all of a sudden Cooke walked up to Nany. Cooke went to Nany. I don't care what she told Dustin. She walked up to Nany and she told her that they made out the night before.
Because she likes drama. She loves drama.
She loves drama.
Mm-hmm. Cooke.
And so doesn't Nany. So it was the perfect person to. It's like, how can I plant this little story?
Right? I'll beat the other.
Okay, here's the thing with this whole thing, with a lot of it, like you said, Dustin hooked up with her one day after Cooke. After they broke up. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm going to say. I've been in similar situations, minus the cameras, obviously, but I've gone on teen tour type things where you're literally with the same group of people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
And literally one day feels like 2 weeks. Literally it is the most intense situation. Especially in the beginning too, it's just you end up. It feels like you've known each other for forever.
Be friends with
exactly. It happens so quickly and it's so intense. So I kind of understand. It seems as if everything has happened really quickly with Heather and Dustin, but it's not as if they didn't see each other for a few weeks. That. It is so intense that it just, and you have to see this person every single day. It's really hard because I've also dealt with that, hooking up with somebody and then not hooking up with somebody and having to see them every day. It's really hard. It really, really sucks. And that kind of takes up your mind. It's really hard to think about anything else.
So let me ask you a question. With the situation, because Cooke goes and tells Nany. Nany, of course,
love that you call her Nany.
Her name is Nany, No. That should be her name. She goes and she, of course, tells Heather. Now Heather starts bugging out. Now let's see this. You're the female in the situation, since I'm in a room of females right now.
By the way, here's what I have to say about that. Jess.
About what?
If you only brought in these girls to provide laugh track, I could have done that. Okay? What the F, Jesse?
You know what, Phil? I think that their laughing is adorable, and I love the laugh track, and I think they are spicing up their show with their laughing and with their commentary. We need more girls on this show.
That's right. I want to hear their opinions, though. Speak up. That's right, Mari. Speak up.
Thank you, Mari. So
don't let Jesse rule the airwaves.
Mari, question. So here's the situation. Heather is mad, starts freaking out about Cooke making out with Dustin, and she's mad at Cooke. You're the female in the situation. What? Technically, I understand why you would be mad at Cooke, but why wouldn't you be more mad at Dustin?
The thing is, people are always more upset with. They don't. This always happens in every single situation. You aim the hatred at the girl and not at the guy who's doing it to you, like, because you don't want to, like, admit that, and so you aim the hatred at the girl who stole the guy away from you. I mean, and you girls can talk about this too, but, like, how many times does that happen where we have, you know, or, like, we're in college, I'd be, like, hooking up with a guy and then find out that guy hooked up with another girl, and instead of being upset with the guy, I start bashing the girl who hooked up with him, who, you know, so that's just the way it goes. That's just girl code, I guess.
Yeah, 100% correct. Yep. I completely,
I want to know why.
Because here's the thing, how it is. Especially when it's a girl who, because once again, I've dealt with this before, especially when it's a girl who's new and it's like coming onto your turf. And also, there's something like, you had feelings for this guy.
Right.
Like, girls convince themselves that there's nothing wrong with this guy, or like whenever there is something wrong, it's like not necessarily try to look past it, but like try to convince, okay, like he was sweet this time, like he's actually a really good guy. And I think that's where Heather's coming. Like Heather makes excuses. Yeah, Heather makes excuses, but I think also with Heather, she's settling. Yeah, she's settling, but she's also seen a different side of Dustin, which I know, like, once again, from experience, like, I know it's different. It's hard when you've sat down and had one-on-one conversations with somebody and you know them, and then having everybody on the outside comment on you and, like, which is pretty much what we're doing right now. But have everybody in your ear. And it's so hard to deal with because, like, I've had people tell me, like, he's such a man whore, he's such a blah, 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 and it's like, okay, it's great that you think it, but in the end, it's my opinion, which is why I think girls are always going to take the guy's side, because it's like the girl, she's coming in from the outside. She doesn't know. It's her fault.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I think what you were saying about the fact that she's making excuses is totally dead on. Girls, when they like a guy, they will do anything to justify that guy's actions.
Yeah, true.
Even if he's doing something wrong just because they like them. Like, thank God I have a wonderful boyfriend now, because in college, so many guys would do these shitty things, but I would, like, justify it in my head and then blame the girl and be like, oh, well, she's a slut and she seduced him, and, you know, like, things like that. Like, you justify the guy's actions because you like him and you make up excuses for him. But you know what? Dustin is equally at fault here as Cooke is. And if anything, Dustin's more at fault because he has something to, like, Cooke doesn't have he's a more vested relationship in Heather and in treating her well. Like, Cooke doesn't need to care as much about what she does to Heather, but Dustin should.
Well, that's very
that's
true. And so right in this, while Heather's bugging out in the club, Cooke is complaining to some random guy
who she was, like, holding hands with, and, like, it was weird.
Oh my gosh, she just bounces.
It was Leroy's friend.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, that was like the little thing they put under it.
I
would know.
He doesn't even have a name. Leroy's friend.
It was Mark, I think.
Speaking of Leroy is trying to get Michael laid throughout this entire episode. Love him. He's just such a good guy. So Michael,
I love their friendship.
Me
by the
too.
Way.
That bromance.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
best bromance on television.
Absolutely.
I was saying before how, like, when in the first episode when I saw that they were rooming together, I was like, what? This is so weird. Like, this is not gonna work out. And they're so cute.
I totally knew. I knew it was gonna work out just because of their dynamics. It's so different, and I mean, Michael's never gonna really step on Leroy's turf, you know. So they're gonna respect each other.
He's kind of like a big brother
to Mike.
Yeah.
They're so real. I love both of them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Realest people on there, really.
So, you know, he's trying to get her laid, Mike laid, and Mike starts making out with this girl who was trash. This girl was so sloshed, like, she couldn't even stand up. Her friend's, like, holding her up, like, no, stop making out. Stop. She's, like, putting her hand in between them, making out, and so Mike's like, well, okay, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to come back up to my place?
By the way, haven't you been that girl before when you like pull your friend aside and you're like, okay, should we go back? Should we? And you're like, okay, no.
And you give the typical answer, which they gave. Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cut to the scene of them getting in a cab, driving away. So poor Mike with that. But
and then Allie comes along.
Yes.
Saves the day. Love her.
Mike meets Allie.
They're like
Perfect.
This
They're
was
so cute.
it's so perfect. I feel like something bad is going to happen. I mean, they were just nerds together.
No, I think they're so
No,
cute.
I think they're so cute, but I thought they were cute because they were such. He literally was on the phone with this girl and said, "Oh, me and my friends, we just made this zombie-proof plan." And she's like, "Oh my god, I do that every day." Really?
Like it was kind of, it was so perfect to the point where I was like,
Creepy.
I really feel as if the producers like did this, but
And she was really pretty.
she was pretty too. Like I don't know, and I still feel like what you're feeling, like that something has to go wrong, in the way that it's like, I mean, it's Vegas. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. We'll see. No girl is that perfect or that innocent.
Right.
It's always the innocent ones that come around and.
Well,
What guy is like him? He's perfect too.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
know?
like
It's like a little.
I want a guy who will be like, I don't need to sleep with her just yet. I was like, where are those guys?
Not in Vegas.
Not in Vegas. So then we find out what happened after that. Cooke, we go back to the apartment. Cooke needs to talk to Dustin about how she spoke to Nany, and they go in the room. And I loved how Heather approached this.
Right.
She was drunk off her ass.
Awesome.
She went like popped like
so boss.
skipping into the room.
I love like dress still on, like barefoot. It was just perfect.
So what's up? What's going on? Hey. And she confronted them. And then she starts yelling at Cooke, and Dustin's sitting there smirking. Why you're really upset? Like I won? You're really upset? Like, that aggravated me.
But it's like, what guy doesn't want two girls fighting over him?
I know.
It's
He loved
like
every second of it.
any guy would love any second of two hot girls fighting over him.
And but he's so dumb because. He just aggravates me. He's out of all the characters, he aggravates me the most because he says I call him normally
He
I call him
aggravates
Princess
you more
Dustin.
than Nany?
Way more than Nany.
Really?
Because Nany, it's like she just clearly has too many issues. Dustin, I believe, is smart. I believe he really like knows better, but for some reason his cockiness just overrides everything. So I called him Princess Dustin normally. Tonight he's called Princess Secret because he can't get it through his thick skull that the reason Heather's upset with him because he lies, because he does things behind her back and then he tries to keep them a secret. Now, he just got yelled at a week or two ago because he got caught for having this secret about this gay website. So tonight, what does he do again?
Wasn't honest. Now he's not honest again.
You made out with Cooke.
So
You were going to
annoying.
hide it. And she finds out from Cooke. Cooke's the one going around telling people this?
Crazy. He does not learn anything.
Yeah.
But so if
It's a
she's...
lost cause.
Again, this is where I'm saying I don't understand why females...
Heather. Not females.
Because
Heather.
she's like trying,
Some.
I can totally understand. She's trying to justify his actions. Like he's saying, like, I was hurt too. Like, and she's sitting there thinking, oh, like,
I feel like she's trying to walk him through it. Like, no, say this answer and I'll be okay with everything. So then we get the whole Sammy and Ronnie situation throughout the entire episode. I mean, it's really getting me aggravated. And Heather, I love Heather so much. You know, Mari, I know you're a big Heather fan too.
I love Heather, and I was reading your notes, and I know you think that she's so like desperate and too flirty and pathetic this time, but I like Heather. I like her.
But
and she's dealing with a hard issue right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's so
who's
true.
put in a position of watching their boyfriend, finding out their boyfriend does gay porn while on television?
yeah.
I know. I totally am the first person to feel for somebody in that situation. I'm totally the first person to even sit there and be like, girl. But, I mean, she's she was getting drunk too much this episode, and I felt like she was.
I would. Damn.
Wait, but getting drunk and then getting in the bed with him and
Okay,
making out with him, and then your friends are literally pulling you away, and you're like, no, Chihuahua.
But look at it. If it wasn't her, it was gonna be Cooke. You know that. You know that. So that's why she's doing it.
But
Smart girl.
no, but wouldn't the smart girl say, "All right, I'm not going to do anything tonight,"
And watch
and
that happen?
if you hook up with Cooke again, boop, there's my answer for the. You wrote it in
time?
stone. You
But,
wrote
like,
it in
No,
stone.
she wants him as a backup.
Yeah, it's just like girls don't want to risk that. Girls you'll
It's
never find a
competition.
girl saying, okay, like there's another girl dangling in front. You're never gonna see a girl say, oh, yeah, go with her, see how that affects me. Like it's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna get you.
It's all
I'm
about
not gonna let
competition.
you.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
win.
okay, so it's all about competition. So do we feel that when she told Naomi that she doesn't want to be with him?
She didn't really say that though. She like kind of shook her head and like, she didn't shake her head. She was kind of like,
No, she doesn't want him. She just wants him as a backup. That's what she doesn't really want him. That's
Like,
what it seems like.
It's almost like I don't want to be played on the real world
yeah.
on national
I think
television.
so,
He's
yeah.
mine. He's my property. I pissed on him. Stay away from him.
Exactly.
That's my sin. Okay.
I think that's what I've kept on saying. Like, no matter what, I think they're gonna come back at the reunion and be together.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like without a doubt.
I think next episode, like
Well,
you know,
the end of this episode, they were friggin' gingerbread man, gingerbread woman, Barbie and Ken. Whore, Cooke. Apparently we can't do whatever we want. That's the quote that she said to Dustin. Apparently we can't do whatever we want. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I love
You
when
did do
Leroy
whatever you
called her a
want.
dirtbag. That was unbelievable.
And then okay,
Which she is.
she is. And then they cut to the scene of all the other girls talking smack about her at Subway, which apparently is sponsoring MTV.
Yeah.
Subway's where it's at.
You know, Nany, and no, the best quote was Nany. She said, "You know, Cooke is one of those girls who sleeps around and watches Disney Channel."
Heather said that. Heather said it.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
Heather?
it was Heather.
Oh, go Heather. All
Which
right.
is so, I loved it.
I do love her.
But it's like, with Cooke, it's definitely, you can tell it's definitely some like weird insecurity thing.
Yes,
like
something
the fact that she came in and was like, we need to break that up.
Who says
Like
that?
only girls who are really fucked up do that shit.
Spiteful.
Yeah,
No, not
really
like it.
who it's just, and like also I think Naomi said it. There was another thing she did where she went to the gym with Leroy in a few episodes back,
Wore
and
her
she
shirt.
wore a
With the
shirt.
t-shirt.
Why?
Yeah, and it was like, and it was like, you brought a suitcase full of athletic clothes. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like, yeah, she's just
Trying to prove something.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
like it. Don't like it.
not a fan.
Well, and so she tried to prove something else when she says she wanted to change the situation between her and Heather. So she goes and apologizes to Heather. She said it was a drunken kiss and she didn't mean to hurt her. She just wasn't thinking about her.
Didn't even apologize, laughing the whole time. Laughing the
From
whole
the-
time she's apologizing.
Okay.
That's real, right? No.
Well, so we all in agreement that was just to I
Yeah.
need to be cool with all the girls in the house.
That was.
So is
yeah.
that something that typical girls do? That they
And was fake about it and said I love you after too.
Love you.
she
Yeah.
felt she was
Yeah.
the underdog in the situation. She needed to get her points up. So this is a tactic that certain girls do.
Yeah.
Some girls.
I guess.
Some
I
girls. I'm
couldn't.
not saying all
I
girls.
couldn't
Yeah,
do
I
it.
couldn't do it.
You couldn't be fake and go up to her and be
Right,
like,
no.
"Hey, girl." All right.
I mean, the thing is, they don't like each other, but they live with each other, and they're
Right.
going to
Yeah,
have to be living with each other for the next couple months or weeks or whatever. So I would be fake in this situation, too, because you can't just go on hating each other, and Heather's too nice of a person to do that, but deep down doesn't like the girl and wouldn't be friends with her outside of this house and these cameras rolling, so she's going to be fake.
Right.
That's
And
true.
Heather's way too nice of a girl because she made a comment. She accepts the apology. But one thing
Which is one thing.
Yeah,
but
totally
not the
accept-
I love you. Yeah, no.
and not even that,
can't
but
even.
then she said, "You know, I was really upset with you because I really felt like we were building a strong friendship." When? When did that
After that you said that you were trying to break us up. When was that?
Well,
Who knows?
I mean, I know Heather was the first person to reach out to her.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Because she's so sweet.
yeah, because she's so nice.
Well,
The other girls are like, I already know what she's about. Stay away from that.
all right. Well, let's get over that. Let's talk about someone else who's so nice. Leroy and Mike, they went fishing, and for anyone who doesn't know what that means, they were looking for some play. And they were awkwardly picking girls up and
pretending to be drug dealers.
lying.
About everything.
Saying I'm a drug dealer, but I don't do drugs.
Now,
And
is that what guys do? Is that what they do?
Absolutely. I mean, Adam was like the king
Oh
of this.
my God,
that scene
right?
where in the beginning where he was like, when he said to Nany and that other girl, like same exact lines, like I'm so shy, I'm so nervous, and MTV brilliantly cut it back and forth, like it was so smart. But yeah, that's the thing, like. We're supposed to be like stupid for.
Do we have Alex on the phone?
We have a caller.
Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hello?
Hello?
Turn the air check.
Caller, are you on the line?
Hello?
I think they had the radio up. I could hear them.
No, they were listening to our show, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I can't
Which
hear.
is why we were getting the feedback.
Oh, well, call us in
back.
424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729.
Jesse, by the way, I'm gonna slap you for telling me to put these people on.
For who? The callers?
Yeah. Stop sending me these messages. I understand we have callers, but clearly every time I put them through.
It's not working.
Whoa.
Oh, it works. It works. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
I'm not telling you to put them. We're enjoying our conversation here. As long as we have Mario on the
We have
phone.
the caller again.
Caller, how are you? Hello?
They hung up.
Okay, so anyways, they went out, they're looking for play. They come across these two girls, and as he says that,
Neither of whom were cute.
no.
Okay.
And
It was a
as
start for him, though, you know.
as he says that, I'm not afraid to kill someone, she awkwardly looks at him and says, "You have really pretty green eyes, like a kitty cat."
Like a cat.
What drugs are you on?
I think obviously, here's the thing. Despite like all the stupid stuff girls do, like what Heather's doing or the thing, we're not that stupid. We can see when guys pull that shit. We can see it. Like we know this guy isn't a drug dealer worth $600 million.
$600 million.
Living in where? Panama, Florida. At the same time. Yeah.
No.
Well,
Hopefully.
someone who doesn't get it would be Cooke. As Leroy and Mike take her out to dinner, Leroy boldly calls her a dirtbag.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
And then Mike reads her. Mike explains why the situation is a double standard, and he explains it doesn't seem like she really cares about any of the roommates. And in reply, Cooke said she acts really defensive, and she says that she doesn't care. And it's kind of funny because she was boys with Leroy and Mike at the beginning. You know, they were going out.
Right. All the
She
time.
could have confided in them, and she went into this defensive mode. And that whole, it's like, girl, you knocking your chess pieces down. You killed your queen.
She blew up her own spot. I just can't believe she even did that. So it's crazy.
After that, they went to go serve dinner to some homeless kids, and each one of them kind of tried to connect with one of the kids there. Just really random. We caught Naomi was eating a piece of the turkey, and then some random woman fed Dustin a piece of turkey, and he like sexually ate it. Like he was eating like a moist Pillsbury cake commercial or something. Oh, Dustin. So Nany ended up talking to this boy who tells us that he doesn't know who his father is. He met him one time, and the one time he met him, the father beat him. And Nany explains, I didn't like the way Nany was reacting to him. It just didn't seem real until afterwards.
Yeah.
She explained that she doesn't know who her father is, and in the confessional, I believe she's explained this to us before, that her mother was hiding notes from her father. I think
I didn't get that at all. I didn't know.
I think
that
she
at all
told
until
Adam
now.
that in the past.
Oh, probably. Okay, I didn't.
Adam.
So Nany starts. I think the whole thing with the situation in the homeless kid, I think maybe I read it as fake, but I think it was more maybe really awkward for her to talk to a stranger about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think she really realized it
Until
until
after.
she
Yeah,
really
that's true.
started to process, like, oh my my God, like this, I relate to this. Maybe I should. But by the way, here's the thing. As much of a it's a moving story in many ways, but it's also a story that's way too good for television. That it's like, I felt it's like, okay, MTV's paying this private investigator. Like, what is better for television than like a reunion with a long lost father and like it was.
You know what?
like,
I have to say, I'm glad that they're doing that on this show because I have not liked Nany on this season.
Oh yeah,
and I think that he's been a really bad influence, especially when Adam nearly hit her and she was like, "It's okay, I've been hit before," and then MTV made her do that PSA. So it's like I'm glad to finally see her in like a good role model sense of like I'm gonna search for my father. Like I've been through this situation And even I was just on Facebook looking at Adams, of all people, Adams said this Facebook page, and he said, watching it, he's like, oh, now I want to start volunteering with kids more. So, like, if watching that made even Adam want to do something good, then you know what? I'm happy it's on the show.
I do think it justified and made us understand Nany more and why she's like this clearly like. After that episode, you're like, okay, this girl has serious daddy issues. Like, no wonder she's with it like this with guys. And like, because I mean, everybody like with her relationship with Adam was like, this girl's a stupid bitch. Like people are like, this girl's dumber than Sammy, dumber than like, who is this girl? So I do think it was right, but kind of. I feel as if it is a good storyline that the producers thrived on.
Yeah, I mean, the producers, they sure picked them this season. Nany tells us this emotional story about her father being locked up, trafficking cocaine. Everybody's parents except for, who did we say?
Heather.
Well, didn't we say what was wrong with Heather?
Heather's brother had cancer,
okay,
which led her to act out.
All right. So,
I think he's okay now, but I'm not positive.
I mean, for the most part, all these kids' parents have something going on with them, or they didn't. Came from broken families, and I like it exactly what you just said, Mari. You know, it tells us her backstory, and the only backstory we've ever had of hers was her boyfriend in that relationship.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was weird.
And like you guys were saying, her actions make so much more sense now that I realize that she has some serious daddy issues. And that's why she lets guys step all over her and is constantly seeking the attention of guys who don't give it to her.
Right. Yeah. Now, so what about this whole situation when she called her mother? So she hired this investigator, and the investigator said he needs to talk to her mother. And she goes and calls her mom to find out what was said. And the mom, she sounded really hostile, just really upset.
I think that scene kind of reminded me of, that's kind of why I got to the producers kind of thought, because that scene reminded me of every scene that we've seen where somebody's trying to find their parent.
I totally thought Maury.
Yeah, it just seemed like I've seen that. So that one line where she said he would have contacted you if he wanted to. I feel like I've seen that in so many. Like it seems very stereotypical in a way.
But it's so true.
But it is very true.
The letters locked in the closet.
You're right. It's true. But I definitely felt that scene was very, like you said, she was hostile, and I was kind of expecting that. Her reaction. There wasn't really any surprises.
So Mari, this story for us coming with Nany and her father, Dick in the Soup. And by Dick, I'm sorry. Phil, can you please explain what Dick in the Soup is before Mari?
No, I'm gonna let you handle that one.
All right. So Dick in the Soup is basically the producers meddling with the story, saying, like the week with Dustin and the whole gay internet thing, her mother randomly found out that,
and was the first one.
And the first one to write her an email. We felt that maybe the producers sent something over to the mother, and kind of meddling,
staged.
kind of, not staging it, but kind of planting the seeds to be sown. So Mari, dick in the soup with this situation?
Wait,
or
sorry.
maybe a little
Before,
push?
can I ask the origin of that?
Just Phil. Phil is the origin of dick in the soup for me.
All right. So no one is gonna find this funny unless you're into the film business and really can get this. But so a writer, a director, and a producer go out to lunch, and they're discussing a script, and the screenwriter says, well, actually, they each order soup, right? And it's supposed to show their personalities. And so the writer takes a sip of the soup, and he's like, just right. The director takes a sip of the soup, and he's like, you know what? Needs a few rewrites. Actually, no, wait. It needs a little more salt. That's what I meant to say. And the producer takes a sip of the soup, and he's like, it's not so good. You know what this thing needs? He unzips his pants and puts his dick in the soup. Because that's what producers like to do. They like to put their dick in the soup.
Okay, thank you. Back to Mari.
Mari, so go ahead.
I have to say, I totally never got that explanation. That is hysterical until you are like our resident joke teller on AfterBuzz. Like the number of times that you've told a joke.
I wonder
on
how
these
many
after
people
shows.
actually find that funny.
I found it funny, Phil.
I found it funny. I found the last joke that you told offensive because it was something about like STDs and it was offensive. So this one was funny.
What joke was this?
Well, yeah, what joke was that one?
It was some STD joke. Oh, like,
What?
you know what I'm talking about? Like
That was last week's episode.
No, I wasn't even on. I wasn't even in the country last week.
no, it was. It was for one of my shows that I host. You told an STD joke, and it might have been on 16 and Pregnant. But you told some joke like.
I believe it. I believe it.
I don't know.
It's something.
I don't know what joke I could have came up with.
If you ever watch Celebrity Apprentice,
Something about how like you should know that all girls have an STD or something. Offensive joke. I don't remember the exact joke.
Whoa. I am being incriminated here.
All right,
You're gonna get a lot of calls now.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or
Well,
principals.
I talk about.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
In fact, and I think that the producers totally were meddling here.
Okay.
And it's like all these characters have so many backstories and so many skeletons in their closet, especially compared to previous seasons, that it's like, of course, the producers chose these people. The producers knew going into it that Nany hadn't found her father, didn't know her father, and they find a moment to meddle. So I totally think it's dick in the soup.
I was saying like before, and I think it's a combination of this, how I like that they chose these people in the way that they aren't the stereotypical cast members.
well, I think. Do you think that these cast members are the most relatable compared to any other Real World?
I don't think they're as relatable because they're so fucking crazy.
Well, no. When I say wait, no, they're
relatable
crazy.
to
but
any other. Oh, I think they're relatable to like Real World.
Yes,
to, like,
no, I'm so like you can say I know a girl like her. I know a guy like
Oh,
him.
I know, like
They're
Heather.
not all
Yeah,
crazy.
that's.
Adam, you don't know. I know
Oh my God, a million
hundreds of
Adams.
guys
I
like
mean,
Adam.
I don't.
I got a better question.
What's that?
If you all know people that are like them, why don't we just ask the question, who are you like?
There we go. On the show, who are you most similar to?
Heather.
Not Nany. I like Naomi too.
Nany for me.
Have some daddy issues, Phil.
No.
I'll be Michael. Phil
I
will
was
be
going to say a
Leroy.
really horrible joke, but I'm not even going to go there.
You might as well share it, Phil. Come on, here we go. This is the Real World. Let's go.
No, I would have taken that to a whole nother level, and I would have never lived it down.
Well, no, okay. What I was saying before, I feel as if they've had this for the past few seasons, or not few, more than that. For the they've kind of had this staple, and there's been the gay guy, the really conservative person from a small town who's never been around a gay guy, who is like really freaked out, and the black guy who like is really angry and fights with people and who is also uncomfortable with the gay guy. And it's like
every season, not
then,
this season.
Yeah, and then like the really slutty girl with daddy issues, and then the girl who gets drunk all the time, and then like the sweet boy. And so it's been like that for so many seasons that I like that they changed it up.
Me too.
And I like that they're back to 7 people. It's kind of like old school Real World. That's why I like it. It's not as what we've been seeing for the past few years.
Okay, another dick in the soup question. Mike and Allie.
Love them.
That was so perfect, though.
They're gonna get married. Right? Not saying it now. They're getting married. I love them.
So you think he honestly found this girl?
Yes.
Like MTV wasn't like scouting females and was like, hey.
Oh, I hope not. I don't want to think like
I don't want to think like that either. But I mean, it's TV.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
I mean, well, here's the thing. I don't know, because they have a VIP section. Like, only people who they like I think there's something think strict of who comes in that section, who they're not letting any girl in. Like, they know who's there. They know. I think it's a little ridiculous because it's also too perfect. I mean.
Spoiler alert!
Uh-oh.
Spoiler alert!
Phil, do you have a dick in the soup spoiler alert?
No. That's the best I have right now. I want to get rich now to make a dick in the soup alert.
Yes.
Dick in the soup alert.
Yes. It should be a bloop.
What's the spoiler?
No,
that was the dick in the soup alert.
Wait, but what was the number one thing where what made me say that was when he was like,
oh, the band?
Mike, I really found this new band.
Yeah,
and it's called 4
yeah,
Years
that's
Strong.
the band.
I really love
4 Years Strong.
Yeah.
Like, Mike's not even from out here.
Where's he from again? I forget.
No, who's from? Is he the one from Virginia?
Is he from Virginia?
I don't know.
He might be from Virginia.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, let's just say it. If anyone knows where he's from, I feel like Mari, you'd be able to throw that out there. But yeah, that whole situation, the dinner situation, and then like,
I love them.
She brought 2 of her friends over, and that was just kind of weird that she did that. But
yeah,
no, I thought
it was
like,
cute.
I thought it was cute, and then it was, yeah. When I saw, at first I was like, this is weird, but then when I saw that there was like another guy, so it wasn't like there was a third wheel there.
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
It was like double dating.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give it.
I loved Leroy's reaction when they were kissing next to the pool table
and taking pictures of them. Like,
yeah, like
prom, hey.
And but like when they're making out by the pool table, because it was so good. Because every other cast member has done that, and they're always like the slutty one's doing that, and it's like the fact that he was kind of
him on. I love it.
Yeah. Made it amazing.
By the way, Mike is from College Park, Maryland.
Okay.
Thank you,
okay,
Mari.
Maryland.
That's Mari, the scoop Fagel for you. I also loved how all the the roommates, they teamed up and they helped Mike get. They were like his little fairy godmother and helped him, with his hair, his clothes, the cologne. They sent him off. Yeah, it was really cute.
It was so funny.
Oh.
And Dustin was like, okay,
Yeah,
who's
what's up with
driving? Like, that was cute. And I
They hate each other, and he's helping them getting.
And the
getting
next
dressed.
episode, like, it's.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're start to finish up the episode with the club scene, and this is where we had seen Heather. She kept going back to him, and she kept drinking and drinking and drinking. Now you guys said something interesting. Naomi said, Don't hook up with Dustin. Stay away from. Don't hook up with Dustin for the rest of the trip. And I believe Shannon. I believe you said like don't interfere with her. She's a grown ass woman.
Everyone keeps telling her what to do.
But this is her.
I know it's her friend.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, like
you can give advice,
I
but don't say don't do this. And
I
don't
completely
do that.
agree. And it was like what I've said before. It's like when people are in your ear thinking
Yeah.
that they know your relationship.
That gets in her head, and she's
yeah,
just
it's like I hate when people. Such a pet peeve. Like literally tell you things about, and it's like no, you don't understand. Like don't tell me to do something. You're not in it.
Well, okay, but so here's the situation where now these people, they don't know each other that well.
No, they do.
They know each other, but they don't know. I mean, you can know each
Not
other.
their past,
You can know people for 2 months and not know really how they are from their past.
Oh yeah,
Like,
here's the thing. You only know them in that kind of situation. Like you are that kind of whatever mind you are, whatever state you're in, and that's what you know. And you know that person so well, it's unbelievable. But otherwise, like you understand what they're.
So, but here's my thing. As a friend, if your girl is crying, complaining, and she's worried about and not even that, but like last week, there was a huge STD scare in the house. The whole gay thing with Dustin is going on, and Heather is crying. She's drinking more. As a friend, if you're noticing this, you as a friend wouldn't be like, you need to, or at least be like, you need to stop messing around with him now. Like, calm down for like a couple weeks.
It's one thing,
chill
like,
out.
Giving advice, and it's another thing telling somebody what to do. And
I don't think she was literally
Naomi
being
was...
like, girl, don't do it. If you do it, I'm going to knock you off the head or something like that.
No, I understand. But it was, I get what she was saying, like, don't hook up with him, like, blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, I would have rather said, like, you know what, if you want to hook up with him, like, if you really want to, you can, like, whatever, but I don't think it's smart.
Okay, so before we go to a commercial break, ladies, have you ever been Heather? Shannon, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Carly?
Yep.
Yes.
I already told
This
you,
is this is an all around yes.
I feel like every girl has, definitely.
Now, do you evolve from that, or is that something that it depends
You have to learn from
specifically
it.
on the situation?
I think it's a situation.
It's a situation thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it totally depends on the time of your life, like where you are in your life, like what.
True.
Yeah, just like there's so many factors, especially if it's like, this is a guy that, and I think we never really saw the seriousness of Heather and Dustin's relationship. Like, we only really, like, for, I think in it was the one episode before all, like, shit hit the fan, that they called each other boyfriend and girlfriend, but obviously, like, that had been going on for a long time, I think. Like, it was very serious.
And I'll give Heather that I think this is like her third relationship.
Yeah.
She's only had sex with 2 people.
Yeah, she has to learn.
So I mean that's in a female's mindset, that's a weak state. She saying she's not, she hasn't had experience, and that's why she's going through something like this.
Yeah, I think totally. I completely 100% understand where Heather's coming from.
All right. Well,
So do I.
all right, ladies. Well, girl power up in here tonight. Phil, take us out to a commercial break.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on. And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Spooky. All right, so next week.
They're going to Cancun.
Yes, they do their
In the
yearly trip.
in the old Real World suite.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, because remember they walk in, they're like, this looks familiar. Yeah, they're in the old Real World suite.
Wow, I didn't even catch that.
Very
That's awesome.
interesting. Now we see Mike and Dustin. It's going to be another themed episode where these two go at each other.
I don't get them
do you know what? Like, it always seems like, I know everybody hates on Dustin, but every fight that has happened between Mike and Dustin, it always seems to be started by Mike. It always is like he just like Dustin. There was one where Dustin like came to them and like wanted to like just for advice, and Mike like turned it into this whole big like thing, and it was just. And I think that's the thing about Mike, that it's like you think that he's so sweet like with girls, but there's obviously like with his past there's some underlying issues there,
he can be
and
a little
he
bitch.
does have an anger and there's obviously jealousy there because he wanted Heather.
Thank you. I'm gonna say this. I don't hate Dustin. He just aggravates me.
Okay.
He just really gets on my nerves. And I will say this. I think Dustin gets himself into the most trouble.
Yeah.
I think it's his choice that he puts himself there. But with Mike, I never agree with any of the situations Mike has been upset with Dustin. It's always like, really, dude? Drop it. Get over it. Just like Leroy says to Mike, it's not that serious. He didn't cheat on you.
Yeah.
And Heather didn't cheat on you, so you shouldn't be this upset. And I kind of thought that he was going to forgive him because the whole situation, he turned on Cooke and was like, look at you were a whore. You shouldn't have been on him. You shouldn't have been that thirsty. And now next week they're fighting. What do we think is going to cause this? I mean,
I really hope Dustin doesn't get kicked off.
I don't think
there was kind of he pushed him.
Like off
there
the
was
chair.
there was kind of it looked like a punch was being thrown, but
Mari, what's your thoughts as far as what's going to happen in Cancun next week?
Mari had to hang up her bedtime.
Oh, Mari. Phil, what are you thinking next week? Did you catch the preview for next week?
No, I was too busy enjoying myself with the 16 and Pregnant podcast. We actually had Danielle, the teen pregnant girl, call in.
Cool.
Oh, really?
So you guys should check that out.
Definitely, guys. Make sure you check out 16 and Pregnant. Also, check out The Voice from last night. We had Frenchie Davis on calling. Yes.
And speaking of...
Big week, huh?
Big week. Well, we also have Tim Urban coming up for the American Idol after show in studio. So check that out. And that's a video show, so you'll get to see him. So
in all his glory.
Very exciting.
Back to...
sorry. Back to...
Sorry.
Go ahead, girl.
Here's the thing. All those Cancun, like every trip they go on, crazy stuff happens. Usually it's like somebody's hooking up, but I definitely think it's going to be a fun, crazy episode.
Phil, before we get out of here, give me a spoiler alert. Here we go.
Alert.
All right, guys.
Spoiler alert.
Emily told me some amazing news.
Oh, yes.
So I've been watching The Real World, and I say to myself, I want to see these guys on a challenge.
The challenges. So
they're coming back with a new challenge.
The new challenge, which was actually
genius.
Which wasn't the idea wasn't MTV.
Really?
It was an ESPN.com writer who talks about pop culture a lot. And so the concept is rivals, where there are teams of two, and they are paired with somebody who, in the past, whether on The Real World or on a challenge, they've had problems with.
Oh, so it's not just from the season they were on.
No, it's also from challenges.
Okay.
Because there's fresh meat people.
Right.
So, and Adam and Leroy are going to be a team. And like,
awesome.
if just to give you a gist of it, like Kenny and Wes are going to be a team. Laurel and Cara Maria, if you know anything about the challenges, that's
it's gonna be nice
so
and
it's going to be
juicy.
crazy.
Love it.
And obviously, Adam. I'm interested to see what Adam's going to be like after being kicked off 6 months later or whatever.
Has
I
he
really
learned
don't.
anything? Has he
I don't
grown?
think he has.
No?
He doesn't. Guys like Adam, it's like I feel as if guys like Adam never learn.
No.
I feel like that's gonna be a lot of fighting because I mean, think about it. Adam's gonna be trashed all the time,
Yeah.
and he's not gonna be able to. He's not gonna be able to perform the next day in challenges.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any last predictions before we head out of here?
Heather and Dustin are gonna end up together.
Definitely.
Well, yeah.
It's not already happened. Right?
What you got, Phil?
Well, I just want to reiterate that if you check out the website AfterBuzzTV.com, that you will not see all of the latest shows. We did make a big switch. The website is brand new. It's pimp. We love it a lot. But fear not. As always, you can check us out on iTunes, Ustream, and the Stitcher app.
Holla.
You don't want to take us out of here, Jesse?
My bad. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us here every week. We really appreciate it. I want to thank Shannon and Carly, shy girls over there, for coming out here. Emily, I'm so glad you're back on our team now. We have one more episode of Vampire Diaries, so I need you in my life.
Come join us.
Phil, thank you for running the booth, and Buzz, thank you just for being a part of my life. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place in Cancun.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janedy, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.